Greetings. I hope everyone is well. If not, that you will do better. I want to address a comment left by Asiatic Blackmun 19. He left that comment in the video. Entitled "Farrakhan speaks the language of birds?" ? He wrote, as you can see here, 7 hours ago. He wrote, "Salam Hotep. What I respect so much is your temperament, calm, non-emotional. This makes for a great environment to exchange ideas, not debate. I dislike debates and sensationalism. We need no more sensationalism. We need honest research, study, and scholarship. Peace be one. Black first." Okay, B1 stands for Black first. So, thank you for that comment. I don't usually get cordial comments from people who have opposite views than mine, and so it's appreciated. And I hope that it will help, that it will be an example for most people to see that if we try to remain cordial, then eventually the message will come across better. Even though people might not accept our stance or our position, it's usually better to be diplomatic. Now, Asiatic Blackman, I will not push the issue regarding this question that I asked, because you did initially write that Farrakhan speaks the language of birds. You are under no obligation, so it's cool. I think you made a mistake because when it comes to the NOI, the only person that I've heard of knowing the language of the birds was Fard Muhammad, and that's according to Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad wrote that, or he said that. So it's cool. It's cool. But thank you for that message. And indeed, I mean, I personally don't have a problem with debates. I personally don't have an issue with debates. But, well, I could say so much, but I guess I'm going to chill. Because I guess I'm going to be labeled a hater. Because that's the big thing nowadays. When you disagree, a lot of time people call you a hater or call you jealous and stuff like that. But well, I might as well go and say, but for most of the debates that I see or hear about, and when I say hear about, it's like sometimes I might have a look, an overview, but obviously I don't really spend hours on topics that cannot be backed up, and there's a lot of speculations, particularly with those belief systems. But a lot of time with those debates that I see, you just don't learn much. You barely learn. And a lot of times, a lot of claims are made without being backed up. So it's a shame. It's just a shame. But at least I give it to you, English-speaking people. Debates in the English-speaking world are way more interesting than in the French world. Because in the French world, they don't necessarily have a moderator. Whether the moderator is neutral or not, they don't necessarily have him. A moderator. And a lot of the time they would just be talking without addressing points. And there's rarely a time for the two opposite sides to challenge each other. So I personally think that a good debate format would be the two individuals making their presentation, whether there's introduction or not, or closing statements or not. But if there is a time for the two individuals who debated, or the two sides, if those are teams, debated to challenge each other on some particular points, of course with a limited time, if that's more convenient. And then, of course, the questions and answers from questions from the public. But one thing also that I really don't like is when you have people during a debate, when you have a question and answer session, and either the moderator, well, many times the moderator who will take several questions, and then the person who was asked the question answers, so he can answer whatever he wants. And it's a shame, because sometimes, a lot of time actually, they would just conveniently avoid answering some particular questions. But with debates, we should just learn. And if we don't learn, because sometimes a person might address some topic that you are familiar with, if at least you don't learn because you studied the same topic extensively, at least it feels nice when you see that the person is backing up his claim. Because a lot of time I hear people say things, and people can actually see that through my videos. I know there are a fair bit, there are quite a lot of videos of mine, and I spent through several years. But for the people who have been following, we've heard all sorts of claims. I mean, really, some things like, and what is a shame also is that when people make some strange claims, crazy claims, they don't usually just come forward and say, you know what, I was wrong about that. And it doesn't hurt, it doesn't kill, and that's really a shame. There's a big lack of integrity, that I'm really sad about, because the level is low. The level is low, and it could be better. We all can progress. All of us can progress. And that's something that I'm hesitating to say, because some people are going to be getting their feelings. And but we as a people, black people, with the debates, the exchanges, we can just do much better than what is currently going on. Because what is currently going on is, in my opinion, close to pitiful. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just my 2 cents, let's say. But the key thing is to learn something new, learn new things. And I really personally appreciate when I'm having an exchange with someone, whether I agree or not with that person, but I'm learning something. And I like it when a person tells me something or makes a claim, and when I go and check it out, then I see that, yes, indeed, he says that. If he quotes a book, and he says in that book, he says this, and I go in the book and I say, oh, well, he was correct. And the more it happens, and the more I would tend to trust that person, not to say believe that person. But you have some people that are just scandalous, like, it's incredible. I mean, you have people calling themselves doctors, showing fake PhDs. And then again, I don't want to say any names because I don't want to dwell on that. That was a long time ago, but that's so scandalous. And we only see that, you don't see that amongst a group of people. But anyway, so one also, I will try to, it's been 8 minutes. One of the reasons why I appreciate that comment left by Asiatic Blackman is because I'm very well aware that amongst what I call the Asiatic black men, MEN, plural, I am not so, let's say, popular. They are not usually my fans. And the reason is simple, is because I always let it be known from the get-go that I just disagree with their teachings, with their doctrine. And there was a time when some statements were made. One Asiatic black man said, throw Kemet in the garbage can, throw Ma'at in the trash can, throw Amin Radisla, making God away. That made me angry. I went in, really. But besides that, I think that for the most part, I've been quite decent in the way that I addressed the Asiatic black men teachings. And unfortunately, I was labeled many things. I was labeled an agent. I mean, so many things is just incredible. And I'm aware, because I mean, I was challenged by a PhD, a member of an organization that is quite known, that's been there for about a century, that there's a lot of things that are being said about me. And unfortunately, if you don't know someone, but you are told something about that person that you don't know, and if the person tells you those things is someone that you know, then obviously you trust that person, you believe that person, and it's just a shame. That's the way it goes. But I hope that eventually they will hear my side of things, and I think I have the right to disagree. Just like, I mean, if dude come and say, throw Kevin in the garbage can, throw him out in the trash can, throw him around the slave, make God away, and he never apologized to this day. So I can surely quote the Asiatic black man teaching, because some things I quote for strange reasons. I mean, sometimes I even quote the Asiatic black man teaching, and people are just not believing in those teachings. But I mean, they might not have heard about it, but they don't really know what to say. And it's like they're angry because I'm quoting something, and they try to make excuses. One example, just a simple example. Elijah Muhammad said that the Muhammad of 1400 years ago was a white man. That's what he said. And not only we have that in writing, we can hear. There's the audio right out there. We can hear him say that. So that's Elijah Muhammad clearly stating that Muhammad of 1400 years ago, so that's Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, he was a white man. Amazingly, you have followers of Elijah Muhammad. People are members of the organization founded or led by Elijah Muhammad, because I know that some people might say that it was Father Muhammad who founded the Nation of Islam. But anyway, still we have some followers of Elijah Muhammad who claim that Prophet Muhammad was black. That's a huge problem, because the Asiatic black men say that their teaching is right and exact. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can ask any NOI members if the teachings of Elijah Muhammad are right and exact, and I'm pretty sure all of them will say yes. So the picking and choosing sometimes is just incredible. Just incredible.